These are the Green Dragons. 6 green gurus on their way to the den. There, they'll make or break the dreams of 10 schools from around the country in the quest to be crowned the 2009 Wipeout Waste champions. The Dragons know what makes a green idea work. They have the power to turn an idea into reality. Bill Maguire, leading climate scientist. Kev Roberts, South Coast entrepreneur.
I'm sure when they walk up those stairs today, they'll be trembling in their boots. They're going into the room. This is no dress rehearsal. They're getting one shot at this. They have to put their best examples forward for us to decide who's going to be the winner.
Ian Fielder, Chief Exec, British Institute of Facilities Management. Hannah Thomas, Youth Climate Leader.
It's so important that they can get up here and give their ideas in a really presentable, exciting, fun way that will impress people, because otherwise, if they can't do that, then it's bad news.
Dr. Liz Goodwin, Chief Exec, Waste Resources Action Programme. Tracy Smith, environmental author.
It's time to stop beating around the bush. Climate change, serious problems. These children are the leaders of the future. They have got to deliver some brilliant ideas.
Ten schools from across the country with 10 great ideas make their way to London to pitch to the Dragons. The stage is set at the legendary Frontline Club, where the Dragons eagerly await the finalists of the Wipeout Waste Awards. Tensions are mounting in the holding room as each team makes their final preparations. It's make or break for the finalists. Not only will they be presenting in front of the Dragons and a packed audience, the awards will be broadcast live across the country. The winning school will receive a Power Perfector, a cutting-edge technology that can slash electricity consumption, as well as receiving expert help from the Dragons to roll out their idea across the nation. For an idea to succeed, it must be innovative, practical, and environmental. First into the den is Bydale School, with an idea that they think will help stop baking our planet. Meat-free Mondays aims to turn schools veggie for 1 day a week.
By decreasing the amount of meat we intake in a week, we reduce the amount of methane levels that are produced into the atmosphere, as cows that are bred purely for beef will not be needed as much. So by reducing the amount of cows we need, we can reduce the risks of climate change.
Yo, he's a cow and he likes to moo. Don't eat me on a Monday, he'll be mad at you. He'll ruin our planet, so stop the gas. Cause cows produce methane from eating grass. It goes into the atmosphere, traps heat from the sun. It's warming up the planet, climate change has begun. So how do you stop it? You must act now. Please take our warning, listen to the rapping cow.
Yo, I'm a cow and I like to moo. Don't eat me on a Monday or I'll be mad at you.
In a den first, the Dragons were rapped to by a cow. But Liz Goodwin has a question about the wider implications of Meat-Free Mondays.
I just wondered, if it got really big, how do you think people like the farmers would react?
Well, we've worked out, and hopefully we'd hope for a sort of balance. Because you're eating less meat in a week, the prices would go up slightly, but because you're buying less, we'd hope that that would even out somewhat, so the farmers will still get an even share in money and could still sustain their farms.
An informative and entertaining pitch from Bydales. What will the next school have in store?
Wipeout Waste.
Chatham South had a Wipeout Waste idea with moral fibre. To stop perfectly good uniforms from being thrown away, they plan to bring reusing back into fashion by organising nearly new uniform sales at the beginning of term. After a confident pitch, Chatham South leave the den. Next up, is Cannon Burrows Primary from Manchester, who have a sharp idea about pencils.
The problem that we have noticed is very simple. Millions of pencils are being thrown away because they are too short for children to hold properly.
This is how many half pencils have been thrown away in our class in the last 8 weeks. There are about 50 of the normal grey pencils without even counting the coloured ones. This means we throw away 300 in our class alone in just 1 year. That's about 10 pencils each.
And a staggering 55 million in the UK every year.
You wouldn't throw away half a £20 note.
So why are we throwing away half a perfectly good pencil? Our very simple solution is to design a device that will grip a pencil until it runs out. It will be cheap to make, comfortable to hold, and will grip any size pencil.
This simple device made from recycled milk bottles could help us to stop wasting pencils, wasting money, wasting resources, and perhaps most importantly will help us reduce carbon emissions.
Thank you for listening to our WOW idea.
A quirky idea that shows that small things can make a big difference. The Dragons and the audience were impressed with their pitch. Nottingham Academy were next up with an idea that made a splash with the Dragons. The team claimed to have a solution to the age-old problem of dripping taps. Their aptly named idea, Caps for Your Taps, captured dripping water and stored it to be reused again. From taps to toilets, the Marlborough School from Oxford wanted to install a system in every school that makes the best of the British weather by storing rainwater to flush their toilets. Next into the den is King Edward VI School from Morpeth with a big idea and a secret weapon.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a Green Crusader. So, when we say Green Crusaders, that's really an umbrella term, because we believe that everybody should get involved in fighting climate change. Now, any student can nominate any idea to their Green representative of how they want to cut down waste and fight climate change. Therefore, any student in the whole country can be a Green Crusader. Every student can make their difference in fighting climate change.
The team proposed a democratic idea that would give every school in the country an opportunity to elect Green Crusaders to take on environmental projects in their own school. The Dragons were impressed by the scale of the idea and the depth of research that had gone into it. Park School from Blackpool produced a lively and informative DVD about sourcing local milk in recyclable packaging for their school. The Dragons certainly thought that they had the white stuff. Next into the den is Fazakerley High School from Liverpool. Their idea, the Big Switch Off, aims to catch the carbon culprits in their school who leave things on when they're not needed. They plan to reinvest the money they save back into eco-projects around their school. They left the Dragons with a clear message.
Switch on and switch off.
The Dragons came back with some pressing questions, but Fazakerley held their nerve. St Luke's School from Exeter, with their idea Project Gold, are on a mission to literally wipe out waste in their school. They aim to put a lid on litter and increase recycling and composting by offering incentives to students.
It's not just about our school. We live in one world, one global community with one global responsibility.
It's a confident and well-researched pitch, but Tracy Smith wants to know more about community involvement.
Have you thought about sort of spreading it even further? If not, you certainly should do.
We will be using the shredder and the composter so that every other school in Exeter, which is also owned by Carillion, can come and bring their waste to us, and we can also sell the result back to them.
St Luke's hold their composure and leave the den on a high. Last into the den is Smithy Croft School from Glasgow, who want to wave goodbye to disposable dinnerware.
Currently, the school used this polystyrene container for baked potatoes, this plate for main meals, this polystyrene cup and plastic lid for soup, plastic container for fruit and vegetables, and plastic cutlery. We think the school should use melamine dinnerware, which is strongly tough and can be washed and given to pupils again.
Each tray has on average 7 pieces of disposable dinnerware. That's 3,500 pieces of disposable dinnerware per day, 17,500 per school week, 70,000 per school month, and a giant 2,800,000 per school year.
The Dragons are impressed by the statistics, but Kev Roberts raises concerns about their financial predictions.
You haven't made an allowance for when you're just throwing a plate away, you do that. If somebody has to wash them, somebody's going to have to be paid to do that job. Now, I don't want to throw water on your fire, but you should have considered that, I believe, in when you're taking the costs into consideration, because there will be a labour cost for doing that work of washing, which I know is not the consideration of the environment, but the schools will have to do that to make that stack up.
As Smithy Croft leave the den, the presentations come to a close, but the prizes are now in sight. Leading climate scientist Bill Maguire reflects on the wider implications of the Wipe Out Waste ideas.
But just imagine if all the schools in Britain took up all your suggestions today, and if all the homes in Britain did the same thing, there would be millions and millions of tons of carbon emissions saved in this country. And then translate that across the world and you have a huge impact.
Before the deliberations begin, Angus Robertson, Chief Exec of Power Perfecta, has a parting message to the schools.
So we're extremely proud to be in a position to be able to make available the sponsorship for you, to bring you here, to hear some good ideas, to make sure more people talk about good ideas, and to change the world as we know it moving forward. And that is up to you to do, because, as I say, it is your tomorrow.
The Wipe Out Waste finalists wait nervously for the Dragons' decision. The discussions are intense. With 10 strong ideas, little separates the finalists. But with so much at stake, the Dragons need to make a decision.
We argued, we cogitated, we deliberated. We were looking for the E factor. Clearly, it was about the environment. It was and had to be educational. It had to be effective.
After extensive deliberation, the Dragons reach a conclusion. Joint third, St Luke's School from Exeter, with their idea, Project Gold. Joint third, Park School from Blackpool, with their idea, Local Milk for All. In second place, Smithy Croft School from Glasgow, with their idea, What a Load of Rubbish. The winners of the 2009 Wipe Out Waste Awards are Cannon Burrows Primary from Manchester, with their idea, Stop Throwing Away Perfectly Good Pencils. If you've got an idea that has the wow factor, and think you've got what it takes to face the wrath of the Dragons, sign up to the 2010 Wipe Out Waste Awards at footprintfriends.com.
Wow!
Moo!
Wow!
Secret weapon.
Wow. How you plan on using it?
You'll see.
You'll see. We can't do that now, can we?
I was shaking like this. I had trouble holding the microphone. But now you think about it, it's not actually that scary. I felt like I was going to be sick in it. I felt okay. Nervous I didn't feel nervous.
I think that I've got a future job on the X Factor as well, presenting the X Factor, and that's what they
Switch on and switch off.